Hi everyone, it's Stefe and welcome to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a try-on of the Boxycharm Festival Vibes. So what we have here, we're not going to do this because I'll just talk about this later. But we have the Hank and Henry sponges, the Lavish brush set. We're going to use the pink Illuminati Cosmetics eyeliner and the Porefessional primer. So if you want to see how I got this look, keep on watching, and at the end of the video I will talk about my impressions for the box, retail values, and everything like that. So if you're interested in that, keep on watching. Okay everyone, so let's start out first with our eyes. So this is my color story right here. I'm not sure if you can see the shimmer in there. So that is actually the 24-hour color tattoo by Eye Studio, and this shade is number 5, Too Cool. This is very old. It is a cream eyeshadow and it is very shimmery. So I'm probably, because we're going to do a cut crease, I'm going to have to probably put some white eyeshadow over that. I will be using the Profusion Mattes palette. As you guys know, we do get fallout with this. So we're going to go in and do the eyes first. So for our brushes, what I really want to use is these three. This one we're going to use just to kind of fluff out our crease area. This one I'm going to use with the brown, and then this one I'm going to use with the white and some concealer. So first let's start out, and we're not going to use our e.l.f. primer today. We're going to use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer to do our priming. So I'm going to prime my lids real quick with this little brush, and we're going to see how that brush works. So let's pull some of this out. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand. Now this is that white one that I had that I didn't really know what to do with, and I think we're just going to keep it for an eyelid primer. So it is picking up a lot on this brush, but let's see how it actually does while I apply it. And per usual, we'll do one eye on camera, one eye off. I mean, it picked it up, but it's not, I would say this is more of like a packing brush. So I'm going to have to blend this out, and I'm going to take the Hank and Henry little sponge just so we can kind of blend this out nicely and not have it so pigmented, because I feel like that was way too white. And if we have excess, that's okay. I can clean that up with a makeup wipe. But I do want kind of a sticky tacky wet base. So I feel like that looks a lot better for a base. This sponge is very soft, and I think it does work well for the eye so far. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our brown. I'm using the shade Bravo. So let's get in here with the orange brush. And it just says, it says this is the pencil brush. So that's the one we're going to use. And as we know, this color has a lot of fallout, but we will see what we can do here. So I'm just going to pack that into the corner, run it across the crease, and there goes the fallout, as we knew that would happen. I mean, as for grabbing the eyeshadow, I think it picked it up very well. This is a very precise brush, so I think it would be good for the under eye. I mean, it's applying really well. So that's what we have so far. Let's take the tapered blending brush and let's kind of fluff out the rest of this brown. Very soft. I didn't think these brushes would work very well, but they're actually working pretty well on the eye. So that's that. Now we're going to take, what did I do with that right here. So now we're going to go ahead and cut our crease. I'm only going to grab a little bit of concealer for this. So we're just going to pop that in here. And let's grab the sponge again. Just to kind of buff out that edge. The edge I'm not really too concerned about because I have a plan for that.
How long will that chicken nuggets lay for?
Those are old, Carter. Don't eat those. Carter is hungry as always.
Oh yeah, I forgot my Jimmy John's.
Alright, so there we go. We have our cut crease.
Ooh, that's fluffy.
Yeah. I'm doing a makeup video.
Let me see.
He's grabbing this. So this is the big Hank and Henry sponge, and it got pretty big. All right, can Mom finish her video now, please? So now this is the side I've been using for the concealer. I'm going to use the other side of the brush, and I'm going to pick up some of this white eyeshadow. This is in the shade Sugar.
That's not my Jimmy John's. I forgot my Jimmy John's.
No, it's in there.
Thanks.
And we're just going to pack that on like this. And then I think we're going to take our blending brush. We might have to go back over this with some brown. I kind of just wanted to have a little bit of brown in here. I didn't really want a lot. So it's definitely giving me that vibe. And this brush is blending really nicely. I didn't want a lot. We might actually go in with a lighter color on top here. I think we're going to do that. Let's grab this shade Bouncy with the blending brush. We'll grab a little bit of that. And we're going to pop it on up here just to kind of give us a nice little transition, because I didn't go in with a transition shade. I just want to see how that's going to pay out for us. There. So we just have a little bit of transition. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this same brush and we're going to grab the shimmer color, which I don't even know if it's going to pick up with the brush because it's like a cream shadow, but it might. Oh no, it is picking it up. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it is. It's picking it up. So let's pop that on the lid. I would definitely say this is an eyelid, like an eyeshadow topper. It's not meant to be like a very, like a one shade to just pop on your eye. You could use it on your brow bone, which we'll probably do. Let's put some of it up there. And it's grabbing a little bit of the glitter from that, what you call it? A little bit of glitter from the Sugar shade. And I'm just going to kind of taper that down so it all blends together nicely. Okay, so now is for, hang on, my cat is up here. Okay, so now it is time for the eye pencil, which I wanted to put in between the brown and the white. So this is the Illuminati in the pink, and we're going to use this. One thing I'm not sure of with this, because I have been playing around with it, as you can see, is I'm not sure if you can, like, oh, you can push it up. It's just very hard to do. And the edge actually looks pretty dull right now. I'm not sure if you can see that. So I'm going to try to put this in between where the crease is and where the brown is. This is why I said I didn't care if the crease was perfect, because we were going to put this in here. I just thought this would be really pretty for spring. You can see it. It doesn't look very intense. What I think we need is a little bit more brown. I saw a look like this on Pinterest though, and it was really pretty. So let's grab our pencil brush and go back in with Bravo. And we're just going to kind of line in between the pink and white. And then we'll buff this out. So now we're going to buff it out with a pink blending brush. And that's what we have. I mean, it's not the best, but I think once I clean this up, it'll look a lot better. I was expecting more payout from this 24-hour tattoo. So let me see if I can get a little bit more on here. Okay, so that's one eye. I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye. Okay, so I have the eyes done and I cleaned them up a little bit. I don't really like this eye look, but it's already on. So I will say the pencil did perform, but I went to, this end piece keeps popping off. I'm not sure why that's happening. I discovered this is actually one you sharpen. So when I tried to sharpen it, part of the top of the eye pencil fell out. So now it's like really dull. I don't know if I'd recommend using this on your eye, but under the waterline might be good, which we might do after we put on concealer. And there's that end piece again. Hold on. So like I was saying, we might put this on in the waterline just to give it more of a defined edge, because I did that the other day and it was really pretty. But the end piece has came off, so I'm just going to leave it off. So next we have the Porefessional Pore Primer. As you guys know, I do need a primer for my face, so I've already taken the end off. Now I've heard you don't need to use a lot with this, so let's just go in and put it on. It has like a light flowery scent. I don't really like primers like this because I feel like they're too slippery and I feel like they don't perform the best, but apparently everybody uses this primer, or at least did years ago, and it's supposed to be a very good one. So we'll just try it out and see what we think. So I didn't have to use a lot, so I feel like this tube is actually pretty good for the price point. But now I just want to go through and kind of, it says you're supposed to push in on the skin to any areas where you have big pores. I'm finding it almost feels like instead of blending in that it's just sitting on my face. And I'm not sure how I really feel about that because it's making my face feel like super oily. But anyway, let's use our sponges now. So we're going to use this gigantic monster. And we're going to try out and see. And I've pretty much used the whole back of my hand already. I'm getting down to the bottom of my foundation here. I hate it when that happens. Okay, well that should be enough, but we'll see. Are we good? Camera went wonky for a minute. I'm really hoping this sponge performs well and it doesn't just, like, I feel like maybe it's just picking up the product. It is picking up quite a bit, but we'll see. No, I mean, foundation is going on. I think it's just picking up a lot more than I thought it would. Let me see if I can. I gotta do it with my other hand. See how much it picked up there? So it definitely does pick up product. I don't know if that's just because the sponge is new, but I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I feel like this eye look looks prettier in person, like it's not picking it up on camera as much. But I will say this sponge is very easy to work with because it's so big. So we'll see. Yesterday I had to put my foundation on with concealer instead because I forgot my foundation bottle at home. And I was over at Andy's house. So that was something. It's very interesting. Now, I'm not really using a lot of foundation, but I might have to go back and grab some more because I feel like with this sponge, let me grab the rest off of here. I feel like with this sponge, it picked up a bunch of product, like usually around my nose area. It doesn't, like right here. I mean, because this is a full coverage foundation. And I'm to the end of it. As you can see here, I'm getting pretty low. So I'm just going to put some of it on my hand. And we're going to add a little bit more because I feel like this sponge has picked up quite a bit. And I want more full coverage. I didn't expect the sponge to do that. My Luxy sponges, they don't do that. Even the first time I used them. So maybe if we add just a little bit more, pick this up off my hand, and hopefully that'll be good. I mean, it's a real soft sponge. It's real easy to work with, and it's huge. This is like the size of my hand. Like, oh, it fits my whole palm. It's huge. So I really like it, but let's see how this little one does with the concealer. Let me put my lid back on my foundation. All right, so we'll grab our e.l.f. Camo Concealer, which has gotten a lot of love this weekend. Get rid of that big pimple. That pimple just doesn't want to go away. I've had it for like a week. I know now you can barely see it, but I know it's there, so that's the problem, is that I know it's there. Okay, let's try this little sponge. Now, I haven't used these sponges yet, so I'm excited to see how they perform. I think I actually like this one better than the Luxy sponge. I like the way it fits my eye a little bit better rather than the teardrop shape, because this has a very unique shape. But we'll see. I mean, it's blending very nicely. This one is also picking up the same amount of product, but it's also blending pretty well. I want to see how this does with powder, but this is wet, so it might pick up a lot, because usually I have my concealer sponge, my foundation sponge, and then I have my powder sponge. But today we're just trying out this sponge duo, so I only have the two. So we're going to use the smaller of the two sponges, and we're going to try some powder with it. I mean, the powder is sitting on top. I'm not sure if you can see that, but let's see if it transfers. Okay, powder is transferring nicely. So even with this being wet, it still is transferring the powder. Give me a little bit more. Trying to make sure my powder doesn't fall all over my lap. All right, so one thing I want to see with this, and I'm just going to leave that in my powder. It didn't really pick up the powder on my sponge as much, maybe just a little bit, but what I want to see is when we do contouring and things like that, how well is this going to do for our contour? So I'm going to do my new nose technique, which I have already shown you guys. I'll put a card in the corner if you want to see that video. So there's the bronzer on the nose. Now let's carve out our nose. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. I'm going to have to use like the bottom of the sponge to do this, because I need it like a flat, straight edge. See how I did that? I mean, I didn't think I would be using these sponges for powder, but it's actually working nicely, and I'm not mad at it. So now let's do our cheek contour and see if we can get it to do the same effect. I was ready to go in without the mirror. That would have been disaster. Buff in that top section so it doesn't look all crazy. And unless I'm using something new like the 24-hour tattoo, I'm not gonna tell you guys what I'm using because I'm using the same stuff that I always use. So you guys know the things that I use. You see the videos all the time. Okay, I'm gonna put that down for a minute. Now let's grab, oh, I got powder on my mouse pad. Oh no. Can I maybe do it this way? Aha. I need to go up a little bit higher. Grab a little bit more. Okay, so we have been powdered very much so. I'm gonna go finish my contour and put some blush on. And then I'll see what's next because I don't remember. Okay, that is pretty much it for everything in the box, but I do want to use this gel liner under my eye just to show you how that looks because I feel like it does look very pretty. So let's put that on and then I will finish the rest of my makeup and we will talk about the box. And I just kind of want to wing out this edge because I'm not going to wear any liner on my lid. So I just want to wing that out a little bit, but look at how pretty that is. And now you can kind of see the pop of color on the top of the lid. See how quick and easy that went on? I don't like to do like a thick line if I work in my waterline, just a thin one. So that's what we have right there. I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup and then we'll talk about the box. Okay, so I have the rest of my face on. You're looking very pretty today. I like this. This look off camera actually looks a lot better than it does on camera. I'm not gonna lie, but sometimes that happens. Things don't show up well on camera, and that's just it. So let's go through our card and everything that we got, and I'll give you my final impressions on the box. So first is the Porefessional primer. Again, this retails for $32. I think it did a fairly good job covering my pores. I don't like the texture of this, so I'm not going to say it's my favorite, but I am going to give it a 4 out of 5. And then next was our gift, the Elemis Superfood Cleansing Foam. I've been using this for a week, and I'll say it's very gentle on the skin. It doesn't leave your skin very dry. It does smell like limes when you use it. And you really only need like 2 to 3 pumps, and there's a lot in this bottle, so this is going to last me a long time. With that being said, I'm going to give this values for $32, and I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. So next is the Hank & Henry sponges. Let me get them up here. As you can see, a lot of product did get picked up on these just from one-time use. They are very soft. I like that I can use them for powder and for liquid foundation, and it doesn't seem to absorb the powder. However, it does absorb the foundation. So I'm a little bit confused on that, but anyway, so these are valued at $20. I'm going to give these a 4 out of 5 just because of the price point. I think that $20 is a lot for 2 sponges, and you can get good sponges from Real Techniques for a lot cheaper than this, but I do love me a good sponge. So I am going to keep these in my beauty drawer, and when my Lexi sponges are done, I will be using these. Next is our Lavish 5-piece neon eyebrush collection. This is valued at $29.99. So again, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 just because of the price point. I thought at first that the bristles would be like really thin and I wouldn't be able to work with them because they felt kind of flimsy, but they actually did perform pretty well, so I can't really complain. And for what's all included in here, I feel like it is a nice brush set if you need extra brushes. Anyone can always use an extra spoolie or an extra eyeliner eyeshadow pencil brush, you know, or another blending brush. And the packing brush in here is one that I didn't have, the one I used for the concealer, so that's a good brush to have also. And then last is Illuminati Cosmetics gel eyeliner. So I used the pink one today. I think it performed nicely, but like I said, this bottom piece did come off, so I'm either going to have to tape it on or glue it on because it doesn't stay. And I don't know if you can see it, but inside there is the actual product, so I can't just leave this off because it's going to dry out the product. This is sharpenable, but as you can see, I sharpened it and the end fell off. So take that with whatever you want, but I think $21 for one or $42 for two is pretty expensive. I'm going to give this a 2 just because I like how it performed on my under eye, but aside from that, it's giving me a lot of issues. So overall, for the box, I'm going to give this box a 3 because you guys know I love my skincare. I love a good sponge. I'm not really the biggest fan of this. I like having extra brushes. And this, I don't know which way to go with it. It's kind of a pain. So for those reasons, I'm going to give this box a 3. Again, the total value of the box was $155.99, and we paid $25 plus shipping for this box. If you want to know how to sign up for Boxycharm, or if you have any questions, I will put another card in the corner for my Boxycharm video when I went in and signed up. Also, if you would like to sign up, I will leave a link down below so you can sign up for Boxycharm. But yeah, that's going to be it. That's going to be the end of the video. If you liked it, give it a like. If you're new, please subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.